All right. Hey, everybody. So what we're looking at today is solving multi-step equations, but now we're going to add the distributing property in there. So reminding you of our steps that we're going to use when we solve any multi-step equation. The first step we're going to do is distribute if necessary, and that's where we're going to focus today. The second step is to combine like terms. Now, we focused on that a little bit yesterday. The third step, we are going to get the variable on the same side. Now, we haven't seen that yet. That'll come in section 1.4. So we'll get there on a lesson next week. Then the fourth step we get to is undo, add, subtract. Remember, that's getting rid of that constant, the number without the variable. And then the last step is we're going to undo the multiply divide. That's that coefficient. That's the number being multiplied or divided to the variable. We're going to undo that. And again, our ultimate goal is to get that variable by itself, to isolate it on our equation. So let's take a look at some examples and see what we're going to do here. So as I come to this problem, again, we want to follow those steps in order. So the first thing I see in this problem is I do see a distributive property right here. Remember, when we distribute, we've got to multiply this 2/3 to both the 6 and the 30. So we're going to bring down the 8 plus, now 2/3 times 6. 2/3 times 6 is 4x, and then 2/3 times 30 would be plus 20. And then it equals still the 80 on the right side. So again, the first thing we're going to do is distribute. Again, you're welcome to use a calculator if you bring one in class on multiplying by that 2/3. Now, second step was to combine like terms. What I do see on the left side, again, we're not crossing the equal sign yet, but on the left side, I see I have two constants, an 8 and a 20. We can combine those. So now I have 4x plus, and 20 plus 8 is 28, equals 80. So now my equation looks like that. 4x plus 28 equals 80. So next step, get the variable on the same side, but notice I only have one variable and it's over here on the left. So now we want to undo, add, subtract. They added 28 to the side of the variable. You're going to subtract 28 to both sides. By doing so, I get rid of the 28 on the left. So now I'm isolating the variable. I've only got 4x equals, and 80 minus 28 gives us 52. And then our last step is to divide by 4 to both sides, getting rid of the coefficient. And that gives me x equals 13. And that would be your solution. Remember to put a box or circle around your solution just so we can find it. Now, to check that problem, you could go back and plug in 13 for that x and simplify the solution to see if we get the same thing on both sides. Look at number 5, same thing. We've got to distribute here first. But what I do see is in front of that parentheses, I don't just have a 4, I have a minus 4. Remember, we're going to treat that as a negative. So I'm going to distribute that negative 4 to both. So I bring down the 4x. Negative 4 times 7 is negative 28. So minus 28, same thing. Negative 4 times negative 5x would make a positive 20x equals negative 20. And so there's our first step by distributing. Our second step we're looking at is combining like terms. Notice I've got a 4x and a positive 20x. Well, combining those, I get 24x. And then bring down minus 28 equals negative 20. Now our next step is to add 28 to both sides. Because it was a minus, I added. That gets rid of the 28, leaving me 24x equals a positive 8. And the last step is to divide by 24. And so x equals 1/3, or if you give me the decimal form, it's 0 3/10, but that 3/10 is repeating. And I need to see that repeat. I have to see that repeater there. Okay. Let's take a look at one word problem and see how we're going to set that up. So we start out with 3 friends, each ordered 2 slices of pizza and a drink at the mall. The drink cost 75 cents. The total of the order was $11.25. How much did 1 slice of pizza cost? So first of all, I have 3 friends and they all ordered the same thing. So it's 3 times whatever they ordered. They ordered 2 slices of pizza, but I don't know how much each pizza is, so they ordered 2 times P. Let's let P be the cost of the slice of pizza. They also ordered a drink, so they also added that 75 cents that they purchased, right? So what I see is that each person bought two slices of pizza plus the drink for 75 cents, and there were three of them. Now it said their total was $11.25. So there is your equation set up. Now one thing we are going to ask you to do is to define that variable. P is the cost of pizza slice. Just so we can make sure we know what you intend by that P. So first thing we need to do is distribute. 3 times 2P is 6P, plus 3 times 75 cents is $2.25 equals $11.25. Now, we don't have a combined like terms here. I only have variables on the left. So the next thing we're going to do is undo, add, subtract. We're going to subtract the 225. I get 6P equals, that cancels out, leaving me 9. So next what we want to do is divide by 6. And so P equals, now when I divide this, I get 1 1/2, or would be the same thing as 1.5. Now remember, we're looking at cost of the slice of pizza. So I want to put this into money form. So that means the cost of the slice of pizza was $1.50 per slice. So make sure you tell me that answer in context, okay? All right, look forward to seeing you in class, guys.